Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be making a simple face scrub. I like making my things from scratch because at times when you decide to mix some of these things, you end up spending a lot of money for things that you already have in your house. Okay, so in this face scrub I'm going to use my own raw sugar and salt instead of buying a sparse salt and all that, and at the end of the day all that is basically there is just salt and some few additives that you probably have in the house, or you can probably substitute with other things. I prefer to use my own raw sugar and salt as a base together with my own base cream that I made. Okay, sugar is good for people with sensitive skin. The granules are smaller, okay, and so they slug off the skin more softly. Meanwhile, salt is better for people with oily skin and less sensitive skin. For people with normal to oily skin, salt granules are larger and they will be a little bit more in the physical abrasion compared to sugar. Okay, I'm going to be using a combination of my salt and sugar, and I'll be using 220 grams. Meanwhile, I've already made a video on how to make a base cream, how to make your face cream, how to make your body cream, how to make your toner. So please, if you've been with me all this while, I think it's good you subscribe, okay, to motivate and encourage me. Thank you very much. Why I'm saying so is because some of the things that I'll be using here are things that I've already made in previous videos. So if you want to see how I made some of them, like my aloe water, my aloe gel, homemade aloe gel, my homemade neem water, herbal water, and all that, watch my previous videos and please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so now I've already cleaned up my utensils and I'll be starting now. For my sugar and salt, I'll be using a total of about 200 grams. Okay, I'm using a total of about 200 grams, but the sugar will be less than the salt. Let me measure the sugar first. My sugar is just 20 grams, so my salt I'll be using about 180 grams of salt in this face scrub. So I'm pouring in my salt now, and I'll be using about 180 grams. I don't know how the video quality might be, but today it's really cloudy. We are in a rainy season. The place is really cloudy, so I hope the video comes out all right. Okay, so I'm adding 180 grams. I didn't zero out my scale, so I'm aiming to have a total of 200 now. Okay, 200 grams. So this is my 200 grams. Here I have my sugar and my salt. Next, I'll be putting in, as usual, I told you people, everything you're doing, make sure that you have your recipe, and make sure you balance up your recipe and you use the right proportion of whatever ingredient you're using. So I'll be using my base cream. My base cream is what I'll use as a cream base to hold it and give it some flexibility. If you want, there are some that could decide to use butters. Okay, if you have maybe your own mango butter or which other butter you have, you can use, but I don't want to use butter because shea butter is good, but I don't want to use it for my base cream. I'll be using 100 grams of my base cream. If you don't want to use cream, you have a butter you prefer to use, you can substitute with that butter, and for this you use 100 grams. My final volume that I'm aiming for is 400 grams or 400 mils. Okay, so it depends on you. My butter is just about 25% of my recipe. In case you want to make more than that 400 grams, or you want to make less than 400 grams, my butter or my base cream is about 25% of my recipe, so you can work it out. And also, if you're interested in learning how to make your own cream, make your own soap, make your own how to mix your own house, your own skincare, the basics of mixing, you can call. I will teach you that at a very small amount. Okay, so let's continue. I've already put in my base cream or my butter. I've already put it at 100 grams. Next, I'll be putting in my oils. And for my oils, I'll be using almond oil. These are oils that will help moisturize the skin even as you are scrubbing, so that the scrub won't be too drying. So I'll be using my almond oil. Okay, and I'll be putting in 10 grams of my almond oil. Okay, so next I'll be putting in my half caste oil. The base of this half caste oil is propylene glycol and glycerin also. So I'll be putting in my half caste oil, and I'll be putting in 10 grams also. Next, I'll be putting in my white now. This is my white out now oil. Okay, my white now oil, I'll be putting in 30 grams of my white now oil. This white now oil has fruit acids, and that is why I like using it. It has fruit acids and it's and beta carotene. So I'll be putting in 30 grams. Okay, so the next one I'll be putting in is my skin-free milk. For my skin-free milk, I'll be putting 20 grams also. Okay, let me list what I've put in. I've put my almond 10 grams, my half caste oil 10 grams, my white now I put in 30, my skin-free I'll be putting in 20 now. We all know skin-free milk. Okay, so I'm putting in 20 grams of my skin-free milk. Okay, that's 20 grams of my skin-free milk. I'll be putting in my whitening powder. So for my whitening powders, I'll be using Snow White and kojic acid. These two powders are oil soluble, but as you can see, I've not yet put in any water in my formulation. But no problem, even though my base cream has oil and water in it, but no problem, they'll dissolve by the time I mix it up. So there's no need for me to start dissolving my Snow White and my kojic acid separately. Okay, so I'm using 5 grams of both of them. That's my Snow White and my kojic acid. I'm using 5 grams each. So that's what I'll be putting in my scrub. What I'll be adding in next now is my herbal powders. I'll be putting in neem powder 4 grams, hibiscus powder 4 grams. Okay, so that's what I'll be putting in now. My neem powder 4 grams. So that's 4 grams of my neem powder. For my hibiscus powder, I'll be putting 4 grams also. So that's 4 grams of my hibiscus powder. So now I'll be adding my turmeric powder, also 4 grams. So this is my turmeric powder. I'll be adding 4 grams of my turmeric powder also. That's 4 grams of my turmeric powder. Then the last but not the least in my botanical and herbal powders, I'll be putting in my rice powder at 4 grams also. So why I'm putting them little like that is because I'm putting many at a time. Because if you look at it now, I've put in neem powder, I've put in turmeric powder, I've put in hibiscus powder, I've put in rice powder, all for 4 grams. Okay, so next that I'll be putting is my essential oil, and as usual I'll be using tea tree essential oil. Since this is a facial scrub, we are using it against acne. Okay, so I'll be putting 1% of my essential oil, and that's 4 grams. So I'm putting in 4 grams of my tea tree oil. Then what I need to put now is my preservative, and my preservative also I'll be putting in 1%, and my 1% is my 4 grams. Since my total volume that I'm aiming for is 400 mils. Okay, I'll be putting 4 grams of my preservative, and I'm using Gamal Plus. This is my Gamal Plus. I'll be putting 4 grams of my Gamal Plus. So that's it now. So I'm going to mix my scrub. When I'm done mixing it, I'll come back to you. So I'm still mixing in my scrub. For those that know me, I'm sure you'll be surprised that I'm not putting any acid in this my scrub. Why I'm not putting is because my toner, my face cream, my toner, my face cream, they all have acids, and I used quite a good amount. So that's why I'm not putting anything in the scrub like a toner. But if like an acid, but if you want, you can put in your acids. You can put at 2% or at 1%. But for this scrub, I'm not putting this time around. This beautiful color it's having is from the hibiscus powder. I love this beautiful color. This is a natural color, and I hope the color will not change. I hope it will not change, but if it does change, I'll let you know. Okay, so for those of you that know me, anytime you see me formulating, I hardly tell you put in a pinch, put in a teaspoon, because everything I use a formula. I follow the formulation. There is a formulation for everything. Even the amount of water you put, the amount of perfume you put, the amount of salt you put, the amount of sugar you put. Not the one that you just say pour in enough. No, I don't do that. Okay. So those of you that are interested in learning from me how to formulate your scrub, how to make your own cream, how to make your own butters, how to make your own lotions, how to make your own soap, how to make most of these household things that you know you need every day, you can call my number. It's on the screen. I'll teach you. And for those that know me, my prices are very affordable. That's one good thing about me. My prices are very affordable. And when I'm teaching you, I don't stick only to what is in my course outline. If in the course of the training we encounter an issue, or you want to ask me any other question, I'll answer you, even if it's not part of the course outline. That's one good thing with me. So at the end of the day, I give you my very best, and I give you all that I have. Okay, or all that I can give. Let me not say all that I have. Okay, let me be honest, because you will not pay 3,000 naira for something, and then another person will pay 10,000 or 5,000, and I'll teach you the same thing. No, I have to be fair to the other person. So this is our scrub. You can see. Let me test it. See, you can hear the sound. You can hear the exfoliating sound. See, I didn't put water here. Everything is just my scrub, okay, and oils. The only thing that is water based here is my cream, okay. So this is my face cream and my body. You can use this to exfoliate your face. You can use it to exfoliate your body, okay. So if you have any questions, you can ask. If you want it thicker than this, you can use xanthan gum to make it thicker than this, but I don't want it thicker than this. This is okay for me, okay. So if you have any questions, please do ask. Please ask if you have any questions. This is our final product. Very beautiful. See, if you have any question, please you should feel free to ask. So when you're packaging, you package in a wide mouth container, because you need to scoop it to use it, isn't it so? And then some will be. So you might be wondering why I will put a preservative in something that is mostly anhydrous. Because if, for example, you use a butter, you didn't use your base cream the way I use my base cream. And remember, my base cream already have preservative. Mostly here is just your oils and your powders and your salt, okay. Why you still need to put a preservative is because probably the hand that you'll be using to scoop it will be wet because you're in the shower, isn't it so? And apart from that, the shower environment is a moist environment. So always endeavor to put a preservative in your scrub, even though you do not put any even though it is anhydrous. So I'm going to pour it into my container now. So this is also the way you can package it if you so desire to make and sell. This is the way you can package it, in a wide mouth container, okay. So you see, so this how it looks, okay. This is about 250 grams here. It's slightly above 250 grams. This is about 254, okay.